All right, I'm gonna do a really quick video on these Oakley radar plates. So, got these from Oakley, Vault Store, and these are currently, I think, $2.99 in store. If you get them, you can get them cheaper other sites. Just saying. I believe this one's released in 2025. I don't really see any videos out there on this. There are, but they don't really kind of break it down that well. So I already took it out, used it. That's why I said I'll make a quick video. It's all that comes inside. So just a little manual. I'm not really worried about that. This one specifically was the black polarized version. So this is kind of meant for maybe more Asian fit or low bridge noses. So it comes in usual case. There's a sock bag that comes with it, with actual glasses, sunglasses. It just goes in here and you close it up. That's all there is to this. Pretty simple. And for the actual sunglasses, came inside with this paper protection film on the rubber portions or the legs of the glasses. Nothing too crazy about it. So, nice part about this, it's very similar to the more popular ones. I think the Radar EV Paths. So, main difference I'd say is probably just the top version is a little bit flatter. The lens, I think the shape's pretty similar. That's the Path version, I believe. Main other difference is the slimness or the sleekness of this is much thinner than the Oakley Radar EV Paths. They're much lighter, and the biggest difference I'll say is the nose pad. So if you have pretty low nose bridge or non-existent, you know, I'm not blaming Oakley, but they have to make it for the mass. It still doesn't fit that well. I'll say if it's better. You can see some videos. I think Oakley Japan has one with one of their baseball players that shows them wearing this. It really just sits, if you have a low nose bridge, it really just sits on the edge over here. I mean, if you look at this, how much area is there to really sit on? You still need a super, like, a tall bridge for this to work. So I don't really know what Oakley was doing with these, you know, if you want to stretch them open and press them onto your nose. But the issue I have with those is that my eyelashes start touching the lenses and it keeps brushing up against it, and it's really annoying. So I run and then I sweat a super amount. I would say yes, it holds well if you have a high nose bridge. I mean, that's gonna work for any sunglasses, right, with this unobtainium material. But it's not, a portion of it is the unobtainium rubber from Oakley is slipping because of the sweat on my head. That's over here, but I think that's also the fact that it doesn't really sit well here. I think if everything was sitting well, my nose and the legs on my head combined, then it wouldn't be slipping at all, because the purpose of this specific rubber from Oakley is to sit well on your face. But you can see how much further out these nose pads are. I don't know where you can actually order these. I think if you go on Luxottica, specific Luxottica parts, you can actually order these nose pieces directly, but I've heard people ordering replacement parts for other models, but it's just not the same as the one that comes with the actual sunglasses when you buy them. So you can see how far out those are. So if your eyelashes, you know, if they're super long and you have a low nose bridge, I mean, I don't even know if these will work for you, and these are kind of meant for low bridge fit. You can see how protruded they are, but my nose basically just sits kind of like on the edge over here, maybe slightly towards the inside. That's about it. And then obviously imagine if your nose was further out and higher nose bridge, then you'd kind of even be sitting on this, but I don't have a nose like that, so that's all I can say. You can see the dimensions if it'll zoom in. Oh, that's the model number. This one probably on, well, I don't see it on this one, but you can probably search up that information online with the model number and such. So made in USA. That's about it. Nothing too crazy. This is the black frame and then the polarized black lenses. So polarized black lenses, I think, are just maybe like $40–50 more expensive than the non-polarized ones. They have some pretty decent colors, but not as much as the other models, like the Radar EV Path. Again, like, that's really popular, so they'll have a bunch for those. That's all I have for this right now. So I guess I'll do a quick review on how it looks on my face. I don't really want to show, but shout out Jay-Z, you know who you are. Half a face reveal, but you can see how it kind of sits pretty well on my head. And as I go across, pretty sleek, slim. And then you can see what I was talking about. My nose bridge isn't that high. And you can see it kind of just sits on it slightly. You can see the top, there's a gap. because my nose doesn't come out high enough. So it kind of just sits on the sides. All right, you can see it's pressed up pretty much. Right now, my right eyelash is touching the lens already. And then just on this side, that's it.